Yes guys, welcome to another video, and this one is going to be something that I'm going to do every single Sunday. It's going to be basically what I do personally myself ready for Monday, and it is going to be analysing what happened last week and what could potentially be happening this week. So almost like my routine when it comes to market open on Sunday evening. I don't really tend to look at the market opening at Sunday evening because I'm normally asleep due to being 4 hours ahead of what it opened up in the UK, which is around 10-11 p.m. But this is what I do every single Sunday when it comes to marking up for the week. And it kind of relates to the video that I did about trading ranges. So marking up the weekly, marking up the daily, and seeing where we could be moving for that next coming week. And it's something that you need to get into the habit of doing. A lot of the time when you're fresh in and you're new, you are spending a lot of time on the charts on a daily basis and looking at what setups you could potentially be getting into that day, blah, blah, blah. But you need to get it down to almost being sort of a 30-minute process where you've already done your pre-market analysis. You've already looked at where your potential bias is for that week or maybe that day, and you are just waiting for the areas to be met or the confluences to be met. So it's something that I urge you guys to get into doing regularly. You can do it on, maybe Asia session, or when, a lot of you are UK based that watch these videos, do it when market resets, which is around 10 p.m, 9 p.m. UK time. So this is something that I still do to this day. Sunday, what else are you doing? Maybe having a roast dinner, maybe recovering from the night before, Saturday night, been out on the piss or whatever. So yeah, it's perfect time to be doing this. Obviously the market is closed. But anyway, so what we'll do is we'll jump over to the charts. I'll show you my process. You can replicate it for what you see and what you do every Sunday. And follow along. Right, so here we are on Euro USD, and I do this for every single pair. I don't have that many pairs. I wouldn't consider sort of 8 pairs, 9 pairs to be a lot. Considering when I see some of these traders that have got 20 odd pairs on their watch list, I think, how can you keep up to date? You must be setting alarms left, right and center. So Euro USD, my bias is still the same. And the reason why I say this is because we did tap into this imbalance here off of NFP and PMI. So I'm still kind of staying with the same basis. But when it comes to other pairs, GBPUSD, I had a lot of stuff up on my charts. I've cut all the time. If a setup is going to be, I'm envisioning something new for the week, I will just remove everything, remove drawings, and I'll mark stuff out. Like in the range video, I'll start marking stuff out, right? So, and I'll start from the weekly. Monthly, I will just have a little bit of a gaze at, we've got our monthly range here. So we've got the low here and we've got the high here. Weekly. Yeah, we've got the weekly from last week, NFP week, we've got this, and we've got this. I've already had a look at the news, what's coming up for this week. Wednesday, we have got inflation, USD inflation, so I know that something mad is going to come out on Wednesday, so I'm going to be out of the markets realistically in my setups. And also Monday, I think I've already said it on gold, that I will be probably staying out Monday. It was pretty indecisive on where we are going, but gold literally waits for inflation. It has NFP, but inflation is going to be the deciding factor on where gold is going. So I'm not going to be trading it Monday. I want to see how that Monday candle opens and closes. Then hopefully we get a little bit more of an indication on where gold might be pushing that week. I'd say it's almost a double top on the daily if I zoom in. No, okay, so weekly high was produced around there. So that's where the weekly high is. Weekly low, same sort of thing. Now it's a very odd situation that GBPUSD is in. Got very close to the weekly low and weekly high within the same week, but didn't break either. So the way we've kind of ended on the day last week, we didn't close above this previous daily, but we are very close to closing above this daily. So again, GBPUSD on Monday, I will probably stay out because there's not a lot of indication right now where we are potentially going. I say my bias is still to the downside due to the imbalance over here at 123. So I will just mark that out as area of revisiting. So I'll mark my areas out. I already know I don't tend to put lots of support and resistance lines. I just play it by eye. I know that 2300 is the support area around this imbalance. So I can leave this imbalance area as the kind of support level. And I can see that, you know, we are failing to close above. Realistically, it's going to be 27,500. I'd say that is the area that is failing to close above. So that is potentially a strong resistance level at the moment. So GBPUSD dropping down to the lower time frames. Again, not really much indication. We keep sort of tapping into this imbalance. You know, you could say this is a 4-hour order block. Order blocks being points of interest, you know, where money floods in and out straight away. And that's indicated by these two bullish, then bearish, almost taking out the previous bullish candle. Same sort of thing over here. This sort of area seems to be where a lot of buyers and sellers are battling. You know, buyers taking out money, jumping in for sell, buying back up, jumping out. So again, Monday will be where I probably stay out. You know, we could have one or two things happen here. We have got a 4-hour imbalance here created. So we could have a potential retracement back into this 4-hour imbalance and then a push to the upside to break the high and potentially the monthly high as well. I think that is the monthly high as well. So yeah, we've got the weekly high, weekly low, also previous daily high, daily low. So this, you know, this could be the potential move on Monday or Tuesday where we break above here, or we actually tap in, respect again, because again on the 4-hour, you can see this tiny imbalance. And this is what you have to factor in, is that regardless if they are small imbalances or corrections, market will push towards those areas. And if it pushes towards here, I can almost guarantee it's heading towards the weekly and monthly high. So that's the monthly high. So it's pushing towards the monthly high. So GU, I'm kind of just going to sit on my hands when it comes to. Right, GBPAUD. We had this setup, or I had this setup actually marked out from Friday. I didn't get into it, but that's not, you know, that's not a bad thing. Purely and solely because Friday you don't really want to be holding any setups over the weekend. I don't like to hold positions over the weekend because the weekend can actually open on Sunday at 10 p.m. gapping. So the market can actually gap over the weekend because there might have been something that's happened. And this is where I tell, you know, this goes back to the news video where, you know, real world situations that happen factor into the market as well. So say for argument's sake, a war kicks off over the weekend. Obviously the market is closed. However that market wants to open up, or the pair or the, you know, commodity that you are trading, say for argument's sake with gold, there's a war that's kicked off this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, the market could gap all the way up here. So the market could actually open with such a big gap that if you were holding a trade, say a sell here, you'd got in for a sell here, and your stop loss was here, boom, complete wipeout. And it would actually probably take more than what your stop loss actually was, because the spread and the liquidity provider would factor in that, and it would probably stop you out. Okay, so this is why I say holding trades over the weekend isn't a good idea unless you are, you know, say if you were holding a trade from 2086, then yeah, okay, you might be all right. If the market gaps that high, then, you know, you would still be in profit and you could probably close if you wanted to. But this is why holding trades over the weekend is not a good idea. I normally close if I'm in profit, because we can revisit it. We can always revisit it that week, jump back in if the bias is still strong. So this is why, yes, I had this marked out on Friday. purely and solely to fill in this imbalance over here on the left hand side. You know, again, potential sort of 4-hour order block where money has come in, come out, come in, come back out. So this is a point of interest, but nonetheless, what we could do with GA, and this line here was basically for the daily highs and consolidation area, so liquidity sort of all resting up here. So that is why that line is there, but I can get rid of that now. So I can watch basically what this setup plays out on Monday. We've got an uptrend, so I've drawn a trend line there. And you know what I could potentially do, drop down to the lower time frame here, wait and see how it reacts to this trend line. Do you know what I mean? We've got all these touches of the trends. I believe my bias is a small potential sell-off on GA, but what I could wait for is, obviously we've closed this candle here, which has caused a bit of an imbalance, okay? So what we could potentially have is GA break this trend line, come back up to retest, fill the imbalance over here, and we jump in short to target these areas down here, targeting these imbalances, you know, further down here as well, imbalance. If we do break the trend line, we could bounce. And this is again why I say, don't be getting into setups too early. You know, I've done this many times where I've got a nice sniper perfect entry, but actually it's been wrong. It's been the wrong time to actually get in. Yes, it's given me about 20-30 pips, but the market has come back in and tapped into the entry again and then dropped to the downside. So there sometimes is, yes, there's a perfect entry, but it's not always the right entry. Okay, wait for the confluences to actually unfold. Hence why I didn't send out a sell limit at 189,800, because yes, we would have been tapped in. Yes, we would have dropped back down. It would have been a nice, you know, good 50 odd, 60 odd pip return. And the next candle might have, you know, maybe hit our take profit level, but it might not be now that the actual retracement's going to happen. Like I said, we could have a little bounce off, target the daily and weekly high again, because this is, you know, going to the actual weekly. We've got our weekly low down here, and we've got our weekly high up here. So this next weekly candle could, because we've closed above this previous week here, we've closed above the previous week with a nice strong bullish momentum candle into the market. So this could show that, right, actually GA has come down, met its level of support, which it has done in the past over here. Previous level of support, it's met this, it's not ready to break it. We've got this weekly imbalance all the way up here. So this could be GA's retracement. We can draw a fib from the top to the bottom. Like I said, on the weekly down here, we've got a nice, what I'd class as like morning star. So a morning star is at the bottom, evening star is at the top. So morning star here, and a nice bullish momentum weekly candle to show that this might be the time that GA is looking to retrace up to the 61.8 area, fill this imbalance, and then start to make its move down to all these imbalances over here on the weekly time frame. So with that being said, let's drop down to the daily. The daily actually failed to close above the previous day here. So Thursday's candle, it didn't close above. So when I say close, regardless of when this wick, how far this wick gets up, you want the body of the candle to actually close above the previous day's wick, which it didn't do. Okay, so this is where I'm biased on my short position, because the next daily candle here, I reckon will target this daily low. So this is our daily low. So we mark this out here. So that is our daily low. So realistically, I can see GA opening here, okay? And this will be the target. Targeting this daily low. Maybe even filling this imbalance made on the daily time frame. Filling this area, okay? So GA, I'm actually gonna wait and see and maybe trade Monday. Maybe I might want to trade this pair on Monday because I feel like the move might actually start being made on Monday. So we've got this daily imbalance here. See if it is going to be tapped into and maybe push back up. It could maybe push up on Monday. And this may be just a little bit of a retracement. Tap in, push up. Or are we going to completely break this imbalance, head to the downside, and this is actually our opportunity here for us to jump in on, you know, the buy side. So this daily imbalance area here is where I'm going to be targeting to actually go long. So we've got our weekly fib. We know where the retracement can actually go to. So what we can do here is draw our daily fib. So we draw our daily fib, and what does this area of imbalance align with? 78.6, 61.8. So we already know that that's a good area. That's our area that we want to see met for us to join that buy side all the way up. I mean, this could be a potential swing trade that you could hold for a good, I mean, almost 600 pip move. You know, from here to there. Let's just get our price tool. Just for argument's sake, the 50% line of that 61.8 and 78.6 all the way up to this imbalance area here, you're looking at a 731 pip return. Okay, that's huge, huge move. But again, this is all bias. This is just me building up the bias for the next week. So next week, you know, might even be a case that I've missed this short, but it still shows the bias or the setup that I was looking at was correct. So that is what we're looking for on GA. Like I said, you might need to pause, go back, have a look at what each potential pair I'm talking about and go over it again and again. You know, you've got enough time today before Monday actually opens. So let's go and have a look on AU. Right, let's get rid of everything on AU. Rid of all the drawings. Start from the monthly. Okay, we know that December closed above November, so we're sort of still in the monthly trading range. So let's mark out December's trading range. So there to there. So that is our monthly trading range from previous. Let's drop down to the weekly. Refine this, so that is there and that is there. Okay, so a weekly trading range. We've already closed. We've closed but below this trading range here, so we look like we're making a retracement on AU. Okay, so we want to mark out the previous week, which was last week, so that is there and that is there. So that is our weekly trading range. So this is what we're looking for this coming week. So we've got our last week, so we're looking at this week. What's our daily? Okay, so we'll find this. So last Friday actually produced the weekly low. But what else can we start to build off of this daily here? That's the daily high. Again, pretty indecisive candle. But a strong rejection to the downside. Okay, what does AUDUSD have involved in it? The same as GBPAUD. AUD, so it's got the AUD currency involved in this. So AUDUSD, if AUDUSD is looking to push up to start to target the high, what does that mean with GA? GBPAUD, so AUD is the last currency pair of the pair. So if this starts selling off, because AUD is strong, this is going to push GBPAUD down. Does that make sense? So in order for us to push down, AUD needs to be quite strong. So on AUDUSD, the strong rejection to the downside, and we actually tapped in, if you can see on this daily, we actually tapped in to this imbalance area here. We tapped in, money came out of the market, so I'm actually bullish. I'm looking at bullish momentum on AUDUSD. We can start aligning things as well. Right, okay, so let's take from the actual last low, bottom to the top. What have we had here? we've had the daily pinch into this imbalance and bounce off the 61.8. Okay, a strong rejection. I'm actually pissed off that I didn't see this, but oh well. But nonetheless, on the 4 hour, not a lot for us to go on. I mean, we can start. So we've got this area here. I'm actually thinking that this will be quite a good setup. We've got 4 hour imbalance here. So we could capitalize on this. You know, we could have a setup potentially ready for this. Let's go down to the 1 hour, let's drop down. You know, yeah, you know, we could have something along the lines of a tap into this. You know, I'd like to give this a bit of a decent stop loss, maybe a 35 pip stop loss, because I don't believe like market will push down to this low here. And our targets are going to be up here. You know, we are going to be potentially targeting maybe this area here, because also we've got to take into account that I said that, you know, GBPAUD could be potentially targeting, you know, further up, further to the upside to fill this imbalance up here, and it's a strong rejection. Okay, so GBPAUD, you know, this could be a small little retracement that we're actually targeting. Might not be the overall push on up. We could be looking for AUD to actually push down into this sort of almost weekly order block. Very, very strong. And also, like I said, I've had this area down here. There's an area that needs to be filled. So this might just be a little retracement back up. Potentially even, let's have a look. Yeah, this sort of imbalance area here. This I had as a label anyway for me to look in to go short. So this sort of area here as target level. Still a decent R2R. Still a 113 pip move. So AUDUSD, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to set an alarm here in this area for Monday, potentially to jump in for a setup Monday for a push on AUDUSD. Right, GBPJPY. I'm going to leave these areas on up because I've already looked at them. We have started a bit of an uptrend, so I can pull this a little bit further up, but I still go back in, still have a look. Right, we closed above previous week high. We did take out that area of liquidity on the weekly, if you can see that, sorry. So daily, yeah, again, so okay, we don't need to mark out that. We can mark out the weekly for this candlestick here. We've got that as the weekly. I'm already thinking to myself that, yeah, we're actually going to be pushing up strong on GBPJPY. You know, this is our area of imbalance here. So I already think that we might be having a push, maybe even targeting higher. It says strong buy as well, but I can go on to, let's go on to my Forex Factory and see what the sentiment's saying on GBPJPY. Weird. Okay, GBPJPY is 78% short. Okay. So what we could potentially be doing here then is, where can I see? Okay, maybe that small imbalance, maybe 185. Maybe 185 is the area that we might be looking for, because even though the sentiment is short, it could be just the case that we are short to fill this imbalance here. So a tap back in. So it's a bit, GBPJPY and JPY pairs in general are quite hard ones to dictate what's going to happen. This is where you have to go down to the time frames. You know, all of this is quite sloppy. All of this is quite sloppy. So it's not throwing up good indications. Do you know what I mean? Very consolidated, very much stuck between 184 and what 179, I'd say. That is the kind of trading range that GBPJPY is kind of stuck in, bouncing between this trading range. And regardless of, you know, it being quite a big trading range, i.e. that's 1, 2, 3, 4, it's about 500 pip range. You know, it's still quite big. If you're actually, you know, bouncing around this area, you know, you could have been making some mad amount of money just trading this, you know, 500 pip range from here to there. That is the range. So, no, an indication of where we could potentially be going, we want to see a clean break to the upside or to the downside. Right now, we haven't had a proper clean break. Do you know what I mean? But nonetheless, I could look for a short position on Monday. I had got a sell position actually set up, but I think we're very, very close to look. This is the daily high and weekly high, right about here. So I think that's correct. Yeah, that's the weekly and that's the daily. So yeah, you know, dropping down to the lower time frames. And that, again, maybe a push up from here. Maybe. I'd have to see how Asia actually opens and how Asia session, what Asian session actually did. Again, it's JPY is an Asia currency pair, so that it tends to use Asia session and London session are when JPY pairs tend to move. Same with Euro JPY, USD JPY, obviously that's got USD in it, so that tends to move in the US session as well. So, you know, there's one or two things, you know, spike up, retest the daily and weekly high, respect it, then push down, fill this imbalance here, maybe bounce off the trend line, give us the B bounce, or potentially break this and head on down to these imbalances down here. You know, on the hourly, we've got areas of imbalance down at 180, so that could be the next one, break, retest. So again, it's just building up the confluences. But if we do have on Monday a push up or a rejection, then I'll jump in for shorts, because we can get a nice, you know, maybe 170 pip move to the downside. So that will be something that I'll be looking at on potentially Monday. We can put an alert there for a push into this area. USDJPY, let's have a look. Weekly, yeah, weekly we broke above previous week, so I reckon we will be targeting this weekly high here. Overall, I reckon we'll keep pushing to break this high. So we could break this previous week here, so that's the weekly high, and I reckon we'll start targeting these highs here, this weekly high here, this weekly high here. You know, we're very close to taking out these weekly highs. You know, that could happen in a weekly candle right next week. But again, on the daily, very, very indecisive candle. Very, very indecisive candle. So we can refine that. Sorry, our daily low there. Drop down to the 4 hour. You know, we've got 4 hour imbalance right about here that we could have as our potential buy setup. So we could have a buy setup around here. You know, something along the lines of that. You know, JPY pairs, you're looking at quite a big stop loss, but targeting the weekly highs to the upside. You know, this imbalance here, look, yes, there's a weekly high over here, but we've got a bit of an imbalance here, and you could say maybe a 4 hour order block around 148 round number resistance. So let's just draw a level of resistance over here as our potential area to be targeted. 4 hourly, let's draw a fib down to up. So this aligns with the 61.8 area. Am I thinking of maybe getting in for a little retracement trade? Potentially. But we will have to see how Asia session plays out. You know, we've got some equal lows here that could be revisited. So yeah, okay, I'm happy with that. But like I said, guys, this is all just building out your bias for the week. You know, your bias for the week could be completely off. But this is basically practice for you. It's getting in and doing this every single week. It's robotic, getting in every single week. You might be correct on 2 or 3 of the pairs, but then you could be incorrect on 1. Does that mean? Your bias for every pair isn't always going to be correct, but it's just it's talking about having, like, you know, you building the confidence up by doing this every week. And especially when you're first starting out and you're not actually trading live money, you're just trading demo money. This is perfect. This is what you should be doing. Okay, I'll set an alarm. Let's go for an alarm around here, around the 61.8 area. So when price comes down, triggers this, I'll get a notification. I can zone in, can start dropping down to the lower time frame, maybe the 15 minute, and I could be looking for, right, okay, what am I targeting as my area of entry? You know, I can already see big bullish momentum candle there. That could be my area of entry. You know, still need to be vigilant. I'd like to see I'd have to draw a small imbalance box here, see it tapped in and rejected. Boom, I'm jumping in. Okay, so that's USDJPY, EUROJPY. Same sort of thesis. You know, this is doing pretty much the exact same as GBPJPY, bouncing around, but I can already see imbalances up here for us to be targeting. So that aligns with GBPJPY, USDJPY. So I don't really need to mark this out. This setup could potentially have missed this setup, and it's very, very close to the daily low here. So even though I will mark out the daily low and high, I'm pretty certain that we'll be doing this on Monday. You know, EUROJPY, I reckon, will be targeting this low and targeting filling this imbalance on Monday. So is there an area of entry for us to get potentially in? Yes. You know, even if it is just a tap into this area here, you know, this could be 15-minute order block. Could even potentially tap in a little bit further up just to fill this imbalance here and reject the weekly and daily high. But again, I'll wait to see how Asia session plays out for when to take the setup. But I'll mark this out there because that's the daily low. Take this off. Don't need that line there. So again, small retracement. GBPJPY, USDJPY, and EUROJPY, we are looking at retracements then to go in long. Okay, so that's my bias on that. Gold I've already done for myself. I've already worked out, you know, that I will not be trading this Monday. That is the daily candle for Monday. Pretty shit, I'd say. So I would want to see how Monday daily closes for us to potentially take a setup on Tuesday. You know, even on price action here, we've closed below 2045 or 2050. You know, we could say this is the resistance at the moment. We've closed below here. So yeah, you could say, look, that 4-hour rejection to the upside, pretty strong, okay? So my bias is I still want to be on the short side, to be fair. I'm still thinking of the retracement that I originally had planned out anyway from up here. I still feel like this imbalance over here is still to be filled. So it's still my target overall. I'll keep this still here. So that is still my target. But areas of entry, see how Asia session plays out and London session open. That would be I'd want to see how it reacts to 2064. You know, if we reject 2064, targeting the downside back into the 2000 region. But there's no real kind of indications, you know, maybe potentially this 15-minute imbalance here could be our area of entry. But then I feel like that's very, very close to the daily high, so that could be, you know, tested. When you're not overly certain on pairs, on a pair or whatever, wait for Monday. Wait for Monday to open, play out, produce its high and low and the weekly high and low, then go in. This is where I say the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are my best trading days, because we've got the weekly high and the weekly low printed. We've got Monday daily high printed. We can then work off of this. And that's it, guys, pretty much. That is what you should be doing every single Sunday. I know this is a little bit long, but you know, I used to watch long videos like this all the time because it is still knowledge. It's still you getting into the routine of building up a trading journey and strategy. This all works towards your strategy. The more and more you do this, the more and more you will start to see similarities. You will start to see market structure. So this is stuff that you need to be doing all the time. Robotic, every single week. Maybe at the end of the day as well. What are we looking at for the next day? I know that was a long video, guys, but seriously, that is my Sunday. It takes me about 30 minutes to do, right? Set my alarms, do my analysis, and then I'm done. I don't need to look at the charts for the rest of the weekend. You know, I don't look at it on Saturday anyway, because that's my day off, my one day off that I have. Anything market-based or work-based. So Sunday is also answering, you know, emails, messages, responding to everybody, hyping up the next week. And yeah, Monday morning, you know, I'm always excited for Monday. I love working. This is the thing that I actually don't like not working. If I'm not working, I feel out of my routine. And this is where I think separates me from the others, is I actually like sitting here and doing this. You know, I get a lot of shit online, a lot of shit on live. Oh, you obviously aren't a good trader because, you know, you shouldn't have to sit at the charts. I like sitting at the charts. That's like saying to someone, oh, you can't be a very good COD player because you're always playing COD. Well, maybe they enjoy playing COD. I love sitting here and watching this shit. It don't get boring to me. Literally does not get boring to me, because I feel like if I'm looking at this, I'm learning something all the time. I'm seeing how market structure is, you know, playing out. So if you love this as much as I do, guys, there is no problem in getting addicted to it. Don't get addicted to it to the point where you are literally doing it every hour of the day, because I know a lot of guys that just joined have said they haven't slept. Look, that's what happens when you know, effectively get like a new toy. You know, you want to play with it all the time, and then you will get something called, I can't remember, it's like chart work, like phobia or something, where you just, you know, your head is so fucked and so like drawn down from looking at this too much. Don't get that. Still be doing other stuff with your time. As long as you're setting alarms, you know, that's fine. You don't even have to pay for TradingView to do that. There are apps out there that you can put in a certain price that you are waiting for on GBPUSD, and it will send you a ping, and boom, right, okay, now I can go onto TradingView, I can look. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Look, drop it a thumbs up and subscribe, please, because obviously this does help towards pushing the algorithm with my videos, because it's a very, very hard market when it comes to YouTube to push trading education. It's not the most fun thing to watch, but dropping it a thumbs up, putting a comment, guys, I respond to comments as much as I can. I am uploading little shorts of these videos as well. You know, guys that are on here that are pushing stuff on TikTok, perfect for you to use this sort of stuff. But yeah, I will see you in the next video, and it will be an educational video, and I'm going to focus on imbalances, FVGs, and corrections. That will be stuff for the SMC guys, and stuff that actually I only just found out and learned, I'd say maybe 4 or 5 months ago. But it's definitely helped my trading strategy from progressing from where it was. But yeah, anyway, see you in the next one, guys.